The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development, with a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives. At The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co. Welcome back. Day 5 at the Best You Expo. Still smiling. And it's just been a great number of days. We are laughing. The production team, we still get together and we're still laughing. It's a good sign. Unfortunately, we're not drinking that much because we need to stay conscious. But I will say, and there's no marketing going on here, coffee does help. So we're having fun. We've got some amazing speakers, still to come in the next couple of days. And it's been an amazing learning experience. We're loving the whole idea of obviously The Best You being live on Roku at this point right now. And, very excited. So right now we're streaming into 4 or 5 different Facebook, YouTubes and all sorts of things. And we're also streaming to Roku. All this content is available now and will be available in the coming months and years. So we're very excited about that. So I've got a great lineup of speakers today, and I want to get onto it because, we've got a very, very busy day. So I'll just go through it very quickly of who my guests are going to be this morning. I've got Sarah Davison, Doug Ivanovich, Didi Wong. I've got Chelsea Colley. I've got Sharon Lecter. And then we're going to have a very short video of inspiring people with Sharon Lecter, an interview I did a couple of years ago. I've got Yuri Revich. Oh my God, I interviewed him a couple of days ago and he did a private, exclusive performance for us. It was beautiful. I had goosebumps when I watched the recording. I am so excited. We're going to be showing that at 11 o'clock and then again at 4 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to give you a small little clip afterwards just to give you a little taster. We have Tony and I are going to have a little bit of banter between 11:30 and 12. We're going to have a couple of guests and talk about the show, maybe invite a few people in. We've got Darius Sudi. He's joining us from Dubai. And then we've got, he's going to be at 12 o'clock. And then we're going to be highlighting some partners and exhibitors, some good friends, people that have been helping us, supporting us, and doing some great things. Dave Meltzer, he joined me yesterday. He's speaking today. He's going to be speaking between 1 and 1:55 p.m. at Pacific time. After that, we've got another little video that we're going to be playing from The Best You. And then we have Jeff Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman, the founder of Priceline, the humanitarian. I love Jeff. He's just he's a big, lovely man with a big soul and who's helping a lot of people around the world. And we've got another inspiring video with Michael Neal. Michael Neal spoke yesterday. We loved it. Michael is just so great. John Shin also spoke yesterday, and we had a lot of fun. And I said and pointed out that he had bought all the toilet paper in Calabasas, and it wasn't right. At 3 o'clock, between 3 and 3:30, I have I've got September Dorman and Richard Kay, and we're going to have a little memory of Bernie Dorman from CEO Space, who's was a very dear friend of mine, someone I loved very dearly and who I miss tremendously. And we're just going to be talking about him and the phenomenal work that he's done for CEO Space. And then I have a Spanish speaker, Mabel Katz. She's from Argentina. She's going to be doing a talk for us for half an hour, between 3:30 and 3:55. So for the Spanish speakers, join us. It's going to be amazing. She's great. And then we've also got another lead board of the people that are posting, sharing, connecting. We're going to highlight them. We've got some great people there. That's going to be between 4 and 4:30. So that's what we've got lined up. And then we're going to be playing again, as I said, Yuri. He's going to be playing the recorded performance. So he's playing this morning and we're playing it again. It's a recording. That's on the main stage. Anyone can watch it. And then Doria Cordova. Doria is going to be between 5 and 5:55. She's the founder of Money and You. I love Doria, and she's going to bring you some great expertise regarding finances and money. So before I start inviting my first guest, with your permission, I'm just going to show you a very brief 1 minute of the live recording, exclusive for The Best You and exclusive to The Best You Expo, Yuri Revich. Just look at this, just 1 minute.
For complimentary resources from my book, my complimentary e-course, The Power of the Question, or recommended reads, go to www.thequestion.com/resources. For more information on my coaching or mentoring, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
Wow, goosebumps. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Loved it. How was that, Didi?
Beautiful. I used to be a violinist, and I used to, when I was in England, I played as a lead of my orchestra. So it just reminded me of my days, and I don't play anymore, but the sound of the violin when it's played so beautifully is just gorgeous. So thank you for that. That was quite calming.
It was. And I listened to the whole thing this morning while I was working in the background, and I felt it was really kind of like a milestone this morning. I think, I thought, well, how... That's just so beautiful. And it's really what I want to bring to the show. I want to bring these high caliber speakers and high caliber, inspiring musicians and artists. And that's what, and I know you've been introducing me a lot of people, so I'm delighted. But you're just a secret. I mean, seriously, Didi keeps giving me things. So now she's a violinist as well. This girl is just kind of like bordering annoying of how cool she is. So Didi Wong is the founder and CEO of the Yes Academy, a results and success-driven educational program for entrepreneurs focusing on confidence, connections, and cash flow. Didi and her husband Michael own an interior design company, JTD2 Designs, where they have completed multi-million-dollar renovations with a design focus on their signature transitional style and feng shui. They are also seasonal real estate investors. Well, she does so many things. Didi, film producer, publisher, author, coach, mentor. Didi, thank you so much for being here again.
Yes, Bernardo, you just like a Superman to me. I was just saying how, I think some of the speakers are feeling it, in day 5 now. And I'm just like, and then you're showing me your cup with the coffee. we just, machines, we just keep going and going and going. And that is truly what we call persistence, right? When it comes to entrepreneurship. I was saying yesterday to Michael, I feel like I'm running mile 16 of a marathon. And, that point where you're just like, I really just want to stop running. But I know if I just go past this part, it's going to be just such an amazing feeling. So, I think as an entrepreneur, we all know that we have those moments where we need to just keep on. We have to talk ourselves into it, and let ourselves know that we are the cheerleaders for ourselves. So as much as you have your group around you supporting you, Bernardo, we all love you, and we all really recognize you for creating such a massive platform that truly the best, you being the largest personal development brand in the world, and you're bringing us to Dubai and Miami and London and Dallas and all of these places. Like, you just got to pat yourself on the back and be your own cheerleader.
Well, thank you, darling. Thank you. Listen, I don't know. I love the energy of kind of what I do. We're very similar in many ways. I think we know that. We're always looking at the positive side. Yeah. We put a lot of hours in. We're always connecting. We've always, we come from a place of love, and we're open heart and trying to help and support. And although we're all, in our front room or wherever we are, I'm in an office in Northern Ireland in the middle of nowhere, on my own, surrounded by cameras and things. I'm still feeling the energy of everyone, and I'm feeling the love, and I'm feeling a lot of the people kind of supporting and helping. But, as you know, being an entrepreneur is kind of a lonely kind of place, and it's difficult. But you know what? I learn like this. I learn by doing new things. I learn by experimenting and going in the deep end, and, jumping off the plane and then finding the parachute somewhere.
Literally. I was like, hold on, you're flying to London and then you're in Ireland right now. How was the flight experience during all this time? And, it's brave of you.
It was surreal. It was surreal. And kind of, I've got to Europe because I can see it. Well, I don't think there's a second wave. I think it's still this first one. So I think we're going to be in lockdown. So I wanted to be here in Europe. I still got to decide where I'm going to be. I came to Europe because I want to travel around Europe on my motorcycle, which is my motorbike, as they call it in England. So
Nice.
my plan is to travel around Ireland for 10 days. As soon as I disconnect from here, I'm going to take 2 days to debrief and take some time off. So that's my plan. But anyway, listen, let's talk about you.
Yes.
That's the plan. The plan is you are doing so many great things. And obviously, one of the things that I love about you is how you help and connect individuals. And that's part of what you do because you love doing it. But also, I think it's part of of who you are as a mentor and as a coach in trying to help and support people in any and every way you can. So I love that about you, and I know how much you've done and how versatile you are as an author, as a film producer, and the quality of the stuff that you do is like second to none. So shout out to you. And I think I shared with you briefly. You were with me, and so was Sonia Stribley, but I emphasized her a little bit more. But with you as well, the change I've seen in you in the 3 years that you spoke at the Best US Expo Long Beach is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Thank you. It's just been 2 years.
Congratulations.
Well, you saw me when I wasn't even a speaker yet, and I chose the Best You platform to launch my speaking career. And so I've told this to many people how I have sentimental feelings towards this brand and you. And I will never forget when I was on that first stage and the crowd was maybe half the room. And then by the time I finished my speech, the whole room was filled and people were leaking out the doors. And I saw you glimpse into my speaking. And I was just like, I think Bernardo was impressed.
Your room was packed with people. I thought, oh my God, this is this girl's first talk.
I know, it's my first one. And so anyway, I love connecting people. And I do say that the uniqueness of my mentorship is the fact that you don't just get knowledge from me. You don't just get techniques from me when you want to become a speaker with my speaking program, but it's really more about how can I help you get to the next level after you've mentored with me. Who in my network can I connect you with so that you can continue on your path? And if you actually, anybody watching right now, if you actually go to The Power of Mentorship, where I spoke on Sunday, and rewatch my recording, you will surely see I do a spider graph of exactly how I am, you will really see how I became the Dee Dee Wong that you see of me today, from being a nobody just 2.5 years ago. My first stage was March 24th, 2018 at the Best You Expo Long Beach. And we're in August, 2.5 years later, and I have become somebody else, and transformed. And I'm transforming other people's lives by connecting and just really doing triple or quadruple time. I feel like I've lived 10 years of a speaking career, in the 2 years.
It feels like that. And then, I've had conversations with Dee Dee. She's at home and she's got her 4 kids around her. She's a wife. I mean, she runs businesses and she has the time. So I laugh when I hear people, I haven't got the time. Oh, be quiet. You don't want to.
Yes, I do. I do have 4 kids, 9, 6, and the twins have 4. And they're still they were just out of diapers. So, it's maddening right now with what's going on. And we're really being very careful, self-quarantining. But, I can't believe this COVID period. I've met so many more people through these virtual events. This is truly, you've really set the bar of what it is going to be like. I mean, this is going to be an addition to live events, right? I mean, slowly we'll go back into live, but these virtual events are not going away. And I will announce, to give you the special announcement of, I am going to be doing the Women Economic Forum Los Angeles virtual event in December. And I'm announcing it on the Best You Expo platform. Amazing. Yeah, lots of amazing women coming together to inspire one another.
Amazing. That's phenomenal. Fantastic. Congratulations. well deserved. And anything we can do to help and support you.
Thank you.
You count us in. I'm quite interested because, and I like your opinion because, we're seeing and we're talking about things, and I was speaking to Dee Dee about the TV, and we're launching the TV, and our TV is now a reality. And I tell you what, this has been so interesting for me because I'm seeing a lot of the things that are happening, and I'm using this platform, and I'm thinking, hold on. this has to be so much better than it is, And so I have now already in my head Dallas, and I am doing 10, we're going to be streaming 10 sessions, and we're going to be doing professional productions for each and every breakout room. So, I mean, I'm telling you, Didi, you can't even imagine what we're going to be doing in Dallas. And it's all going to be streamed, and all going to be shown on all the full TV platforms.
It's crazy amazing that
because there's no going, it's not that there's no going back, it's just the standards and the bar has to go up because, excuse me, boys and girls, you can't be speaking, with your Zoom, with your pajama pants behind your window, you can't. This is it. If this is what we have, so part of what we're going to be doing is preparing professional productions with producers and prepping and training. So when they come to do the talk at the Best You Expo, they're TV worthy and Best You worthy.
That's right.
So more coming soon. But I'm
count me in. I love helping people with on-camera work. It's in fact, that's the most important technique you need to know now, on-camera work, because we all do selfie videos, we all do digital marketing, we all do all of these virtual speaking. You need to know how to do it right. So and be effective mostly. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. If you're not looking into the camera, talking to your audience, and you're looking over here, and you feel like you're talking, but they're looking at the left side of your face, that's already a no-no, So yeah, I love that you're teaching this to people.
Yeah, we're going to do that. So we want to do the production side, and as I said, stream it all through our pages. So we're going to be announcing a lot of that. But also, kind of, I think, you were saying about obviously looking to camera, the lighting, and all the basics. But boys and girls, you've got to be a little bit computer savvy. I mean, if you're using an iPad from 1976 with the iOS number 3, guess what? It's not going to work when you put Zoom on, or if the last time you updated Chrome was before Chrome was invented, well, that's not going to work either. So a lot of the people, and we send them, I'm talking generically here. We send them generic instructions with screens, do this, do that. What I'm saying is, we have to up our game and we have to be more computer savvy. It's just one of those things that you just can't avoid, So, yeah, it's an interesting time. But we're all learning very quickly, aren't we?
Yes, we have to learn. We have to adapt. We have to be willing to go with the times and not stuck in our old ways, and be open-minded and non-judgmental. Please keep all those words I just said in your mind as you continue the continuation of this expo, as well as the remainder of COVID and pandemic, and just really mostly be open-minded and be kind. Please be kind as you learn yourself, and realize that there are other people who are jumping in, willing to learn and willing to make mistakes. That's the beauty of people, entrepreneurs who really are willing to fail before they succeed. That's really the idea, right?
It is, Didi. And then also, and I think kind of like, we have to hold the badges of who we represent or who we say we are, coaches, mentors, trainers, mindset.
Yes.
We have to be the first individuals to get there and go there. It's just surprising to see, I know you've heard this before, but I've recommended so many people to read their own books. Funny enough, Les Brown said
I love that when you say that.
I know, it's so true. But Les Brown said that he actually said that he went through a stage in his life when he had to read his own book. And did you highlight for me? You were at the talk with Les Brown the other day. I mean, I just love the banter with him and his daughter. I mean, they were.
Oh my gosh! You know what? That's the best part of them. The best part of Les Brown, because he cracks up at his own words. I mean, his own sentence. That's my favorite part about him. When I listen to him, apart from his voice and his energy and how he delivers, because I always study how people deliver. But mostly, he just cracks himself up and he laughs, and that is always the joy of watching him.
Oh
he's like. And then with the daughter.
and I loved how they finished and started sentences. She would start it, he would finish it, he would finish it, she would start it. It was so beautiful to see. And I think I'm going to ask Matt, my editor, to cut. There's a piece where he said a beautiful thing to me about.
I know. You got me teary-eyed.
I think I started tearing up a little bit.
You did, yeah. I love that.
It was so beautiful. It was such a bit.
You know what? That made the whole expo. That's it. You don't need anything.
My whole career as a promoter, to be honest, to have someone who's talented to say that was just beautiful. It was okay, but okay, Les, I'm going to carry on. So, Didi, you've been very busy around the Expo. I really appreciate it. I'm very thankful always to you. You know, mi casa es su casa, siempre.
Love it.
What are you going to be sharing in?
Gracias. Gracias. I'm sharing. Yeah, gracias. I'm learning the Spanish way, obviously, the right way with my husband being Spanish and all. Okay, so I am promoting. So this morning I woke up and I was like, okay, right now I have an ebook that I give people at www.didiwongfreebook.com. It's called How to Perfect Your Elevator Pitch, Turn Every Stranger into an Ally. But this morning I woke up, you know what? John Shin said, I've listened to him speak so many times, but John Shin said, if you get out of this pandemic and have nothing to show for it, shame on you. Yeah. And so him being one of my mentors, and I was just thinking in my head, you know what? I've been doing a lot during this pandemic, but I do want to have something to show for it. So I'm going to revise my ebook and make it into a real book and elongate it with all the things that I know right now since I wrote it. So I'm going to change the title to just Turn Every Stranger into an Ally, which is, by the way, the title of my main stage speech, which is tomorrow at noon, which I'll see you again then. I'm so excited about this title and the presentation because, you know, I always say the one thing that sticks out for me as a successful businesswoman, speaker, and TV producer and all the things I am, is really how I connect with people. And how is it that I meet a stranger and they want to be in touch with me? They connect, they want to talk to me, they want to book time in my calendar, they want to be in touch. And what is it about what I say and what I do and my energy in the 2 minutes sometimes, or even 1 minute that I connect, that I have the chance to connect? What is it about that time? Do I turn someone who I've never met before into an ally? So that is what I'm going to be teaching tomorrow in my speech. And it will be really fun. It's actually a fun presentation. And not too lecture-like, which I always like to make it fun. So please come on along tomorrow at noon. Yeah.
Didi, well, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Have a great day. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, darling. Bye. Okay, let's carry on. I'm going to invite my friend Doug Ivanovich to join me. I'm going to bring him in, and then I will read a very brief bio that's going to represent an absolute legend of a man. Doug Ivanovich.
Hello, Bernardo.
How are you?
Good, but I didn't want your interview to end. I was kind of a bit enraptured with Didi.
I know. You know what? Didi's she's been one of my big fan supporters all for such a long time, and we always get talking. So look, Doug Ivanovich is the founder of the World Peace One Foundation, W1P Concerts, and the Storm Aid Foundation, where he is executive director. Doug writes and lectures on spiritual, social, cultural, and environmental topics, and on virtues, values, ethics, and a deeper way of learning, living, and being. Doug is a longtime peace activist, global strategist, and citizen diplomat who vigorously promotes ecology, earth restoration, human rights, sustainability, ending human trafficking, alternative energy, and a host of new global problem-solving technologies, which is very exciting. So, Doug, so excited to have you here. The problem I'm going to have with you is to try and keep this within a couple of minutes, because, you know, I could listen to you. I mean, I could start now and finish it in 3 or 4 hours, and you could keep us going with your wisdom. So, Doug, I'm so excited and delighted that you're going to be speaking tomorrow on the main stage. I'm also very excited and, well, so happy and grateful that you got over the COVID. I know you went through a tough patch, and you still got some sequels from obviously what happened. So I'm so happy that you're here.
It was a battle. This COVID thing, we've got points of view on different sides of the political spectrum on COVID, but I can tell you nobody really totally understands COVID yet. We're dealing with right now SARS-CoV-19-G, which is its 7th iteration or mutation. So I know we've got a lot of people around the world, including some people I'm working with that, as you know, we're looking for that solution that's so desperately needed. The global economy has lost, I believe, about $11 trillion. So not only is it a threat to human life directly and physically, but it's an extraordinary challenge for our world economy. And
how do you see things unfolding between now and what's going to happen on the other side?
Well, first, I kind of would like to set a spiritual and mystical technique that's used a lot, or statement that's used a lot. Shocks break the patterns of routine thinking and living. And we have been dealt a major shock, no matter how it came into existence, because people keep debating that, and there are all these conspiratorial perspectives. But nonetheless, shocks break the patterns of routine thinking and living, and we've been dealt that shock. So a lot of people around the world in all sectors and segments of society have been thrown into this amazing reflection. What is the value of life? What have I been doing with my life? What are we doing with our lives? Are we really spending our time the most wisely? Are we working together? I'm kind of a champion about ending that survival of the fittest thing that they kind of blame Darwin for, and it's really not survival of the fittest anymore. It's the survival of the smartest, the wisest, and the most cooperative. And that means, hey, how much have we been doing together? How much better do we need to be doing together? And COVID comes along and says, reevaluate life, society, organizations, corporations, governments, our place in the greater scheme of things. So we've got a lot of work to do. One of the things that I especially like to emphasize is that when the dust settles on COVID, and we either cure it or figure it out or learn to live with it and deal with it, learn to mitigate its effects, learn to get our societies going again and our economies. We have to come out of this period, out of this cycle, what I call PLUs, right, Bernardo? People like us, visionary pragmatists, practical mystics, inspired people, creative people, entrepreneurial people. We have to come out of this with a really powerful, clean and clear and grand vision for humanity, because COVID, crisis brings opportunity. So there is probably the greatest opportunity of our lifetime to redefine ourselves, to renew ourselves, to work at restoring humanity, restoring the planet. And so I encourage everybody, but especially people who are like the best Expo people, let's really, really give this some serious thought and make sure that we come out of COVID with a blueprint for a better future for humanity, a safer, saner, more enlightened, cooperative future, more equitable future. Because if we don't, typically the forces of authoritarianism by default, continue to run in a certain direction that is not necessarily the best for all of us. So I'm very inspired about the opportunity, although, quite sober about, the striking implications of this pandemic.
Well, you've done so many amazing things, Doug. And I remember just before this whole thing happened, you were planning the Earth Day 50, which was like the biggest gathering of musicians around the world. You had a small target of reaching 3.5 or 4 billion people, which made my Expo 12,000 look like completely relevant, which it did. And I was so humbled to join part of your dream team around the biggest table I've ever seen in my life, with the biggest minds thinking of how we could put all this together. But, you've done Earth Day 50. Sorry, you've done Live Aid. I mean, you've been involved in the biggest concerts on the planet. And the things that you do, Doug, I mean, for me, I always say that I know that things happen for a reason. I know serendipity. I'm a great believer in it. But I think one of the biggest blessings in my life is to come across you, because you are by far one of the biggest, smartest men that I've ever met. And it's just great to see the scale of the impact that you've had and you're trying to have with a lot of the things that you're working on, your humanitarian projects, and obviously all the new technologies that you're working on. It's just amazing, Doug. And I highly recommend anyone either watching this live or watching this recording, you have to listen to Doug's talk tomorrow, because trust me, when his hours finish, you're going to thinking, is that it? If 5 minutes gone by? Because this man will mesmerize you. So I just want to congratulate you on behalf of the part of humanity who knows who you are, Doug.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And those who don't as well.
I typically consider myself a humble servant, so, and that's how I approach it. Of course, these events from Live Aid on, some of the Farm Aid events, World Environment Day, we did once the Pope's Prayer for World Peace and Human Unity in 14 languages that reached 1.5 billion people. And so Earth Day 50 Live was just intended to be one of these grand social global media experiments, reach as many people as we can, try to, kind of create a shift by getting enough energy together, enough consciousness together to put a frequency out in the world that ripples out and affects everything on Earth. That's my mystical, spiritual side, But on the practical side, we had over 40 cities in 40 countries, and we're pretty much on our way to reach at least 2.5 or 3 billion. And so we're just going to kind of morph Earth Day 50 Live. It was Climate Crisis Concert. We're going to morph that into One Earth GPS. And the GPS, our GPS, is global problem solving, global problem solutions, because we have identified and associated ourselves with a number of really, truly extraordinary people who have the technologies. And this is the good news. Remember when the gospel came along? What is the gospel? The gospel was the good news. Well, we have maybe a gospel for humanity's future forming and taking shape right now, where consciousness advancing and a comprehension of and development of new technologies, we literally can return our world to Edenic splendor, to Garden of Eden type splendor. We really can do it. The majority of the world doesn't know we can do it yet. Even the majority of industry doesn't know how to do it. But some of the people with these new technologies, and I'll talk about some of those tomorrow, absolutely amazing, world transforming. So, that's a very exciting process.
What is your talk? Sorry to interrupt you. What was your talk tomorrow? What's the title?
It's Rebooting Humanity.
Amazing.
Inspiration, restoration, and graduation. I have this romance with the infinite. In fact, when I'm a little playful, I tell people I find thinking out of the box so confining that I have to romance the infinite, and I encourage others to do the same. But the infinite lives in us. Einstein's statement that imagination is more important than knowledge. At any given point, there's a certain amount of knowledge in a person and collective humanity. But imagination has no limits whatsoever. Through imagination, we build our stairway to heaven and our ladder to the stars. And so, we release the infinite within ourselves and do that collectively. There is no power that can stop us from restoring our world.
I love it, Doug, and I believe that also change can be done. It can materialize a lot quicker than people think it can. I mean, we're moving at very, very quickly. The planet, the world, the environment, everything is moving very quickly. But also, I think consciousness, we're moving also.
Well, that's it. The universal constant. I mean, we talk about light is a universal constant. Change is likely the universal constant. But one of the things that people have left out for centuries. Consciousness is a universal constant. Consciousness doesn't just fill us or other life forms or this part of the earth, in the Goldilocks zone where life, it's a friendly environment. Consciousness permeates the universe. You know how scientists say, hey, and they're very excited about this. Many scientists say, don't you understand? We are star stuff. And they're patting their chest. We are star stuff. Yeah. And I say, well, take that next leap and realize that we are also mind stuff, universal mind stuff. We are consciousness, universal consciousness stuff the same way. Because many believe that our bodies, this cluster of impressive minerals and temple flesh, is an amazing thing, that is made of star stuff. But the consciousness that's so impressive kind of climbed out of the primordial soup and manufactured itself out of this body, this cluster of minerals. It's not so. Consciousness permeates the universe. And so consciousness is a universal constant. And by the way, I don't have time tomorrow, but I've been working on, and I'm looking at some of the books I'm writing and should be releasing soon. One of the things I've been wanting to postulate in very strong terms is without consciousness, the universe doesn't exist. Without consciousness, the universe can't exist. Because what is its purpose? What is its value? How does it come about? What organizes it? What designs it? Intelligence always comes first.
Doug, I'm going to have to, I'm so sorry, because I have other guests and I don't want to leave them waiting. Doug, you're speaking tomorrow. What time? I've got
11 a.m. Pacific. 11
a.m. Perfect. Well, we're going to talk tomorrow. And because I know you're in LA, I know you're a busy man, but I'm probably going to have some more time to have a chat with you, maybe, and we can record it for the Expo, because I can speak to you and listen to you forever. So, Doug, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Same here. I look forward to it, too.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you. And I want to move along. Doug Ivanovich, absolute legend, a phenomenal man. Please come and join him tomorrow. And I'm going to invite, simply because I must. And I know with love, Chelsea and Sarah, you've been waiting there patiently. And I love you for that. And I will thank you in a minute. But at the moment, I'm going to have to let Sharon Lecter come in and join me, because Mama Sharon is here. There she is.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for being here, darling. Lovely to see you.
Absolutely. I'm delighted to be here and to support you all week. It's just, I keep talking about how you're an innovator. You're out there doing it and setting the pace.
Thank you so much. Well, listen, Sharon Lecter, a phenomenal individual who I've had the pleasure of working with, being mentored by. And Sharon is an entrepreneur, author, philanthropist, international speaker, chartered global management accountant, and most importantly, a mother and grandmother with a 35-year career as a licensed CPA and a lifelong education advocate. She is the founder of CEO of Pay Your Family First, a financial educational organization. Regarded as a global expert on financial literacy, Sharon has served as a national spokeswoman and presidential advisor on the topic, and obviously was, together with Robert Kiyosaki, the co-author of the whole Rich Dad, Poor Dad series that has been such a success over the years, her and her husband, Michael. So, Sharon, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your love, your support, always. And I'm always blessed to have your presence in our events, because you bring style, class, panache, and you teach the youth how it's done.
Well, thank you so much, Bernard. I'm very proud for and of you. This is fantastic. And I just ask and I'll show up. I want to support you all the time.
For more information on collaborating, partnering, sponsoring, supporting, or speaking at any of our events, or finding out more about our legacy clubs, go to www.thebestyou.co. If you're interested in finding out more about the amazing content we have, please go to www.thebestyou.online and get your 14-day free trial now.
So, Sharon, you've been very busy. It's not that you're not busy, but it's just it's very difficult to not go on Instagram or Facebook, and you're all over the place. Oh my God, you're like, I know you're not traveling that much, so I suppose that gives you a little bit of extra time. What have you found yourself doing more of?
Well, I've been in my chair an awful lot the last few months. Instead of an airplane seat, I've been in my chair. I keep moving around my house now just to try and get out of the rut and step outside the comfort zone. But, right now, more than ever, you've already heard your other guests talk about it. But, we're in an unprecedented time, and it's really an effort to step up and provide as much value as possible and hope. People say they're waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel. And I go, forget that, because that means you're giving up your power. Become the beacon of light. And so during this time, people are struggling financially. We're trying to support as much as we can with our programs, and really to give them the opportunity to turn that fear of what's happening in the world to focus on reset. And I don't like the word pivot, because your end goal, your vision shouldn't pivot. You just need to adapt and adopt to the new realities and create the best path to work in the environment that we find ourselves today. And certainly the Best You Expo is a real opportunity for the one area that I talk about the most, and that's power of association, which I'm very proud of my association with you, Bernardo. But in this, you've seen it within your platform, people connecting with each other. So it's a glorious thing.
Absolutely, and I think that's what people underestimate. I think a lot of the time when people come to events, or I've noticed it in the Expo, but I've seen it. I think it's the power is in the connections within us, and the opportunities that arise from that, and the potential partnerships. And I think a lot of people tend to miss that. Kind of like anyone who has had the opportunity to share the stage virtually with you, for example, and today Jeff Hoffman, and the other day. Tomorrow Doug Ivanovic, the other day Jack Canfield, Les Brown, it's just being able to be in the same space or the same environment and being able to kind of connect with them is the first starting point. And I think that's there. Obviously, a lot of people didn't plant the seeds, didn't invest, educate themselves in the financials, and obviously now are struggling. What's the best advice to come on top, to really start a new career and really get on track? Because it's never too late.
Well, if you think about the cash flow quadrant, the left side is employees, self-employed. That's people who are exchanging time for money. They're the ones that have been most critically hurt and wounded during this time because life as we know it stopped. And so a lot of people that were used to paychecks weren't getting them. The right side of the quadrant, which is about business owners and investments, that's what I teach people to do, is creating those economic engines, those assets. The title of my talk tomorrow, Assets Are Sexy. People that have assets and economic engines for them have gotten through this time period a lot easier than people that are relying on basically a paycheck. And so it's not what you do for your paycheck, it's what you do with your paycheck that matters. And so what I'm trying to show people and working with the people that I do is to show them how to take what they know. You're already an expert. Take what you know and create assets. Don't focus on exchanging time for money. Focus on investing time into creating income-producing assets. So don't chase the money, chase the asset. Buy, build, or create assets that generate income for you, that will be there for you and generating income while you're sleeping. So that's tomorrow at 2:00. Assets are sexy. But the other thing I love about your platform, Bernardo, is after each one of my talks this week, I've gone into my booth. And so I've had the opportunity to have one-on-one conversations with people that have attended the sessions. And it's a really kind of fun thing to be able to have those and be able to do almost one-on-one coaching with people after the session. So I take advantage of that, everybody that's watching.
Absolutely. Really I highly encourage that. I mean, look, this is an opportunity. If you have an opportunity to work with Sharon, if you have an opportunity to be trained by Sharon, just imagine, she knows everyone and anyone. And kind of the advice, for example, she gave me when I was mentored by her, it's just, you can't put a value on that. So please reach out and the generosity of people like Sharon. So pop into the booth, go and say hi, go and connect with her or Angela. They're beautiful, they're lovely. And thank you so much for being here, darling. I will see you tomorrow. And hey, listen, if the title of your talk doesn't attract people, I don't know what will.
Well, I just want to congratulate you, Bernardo. I think it's been fantastic. And I know you've had, a few little headaches at the beginning, but it's really, you really are putting a stake in the ground as the front of the curve on creating this kind of environment. And I think it's been fantastic. So congratulations. And I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're just getting started. We're gonna carry on. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much.
2:00 tomorrow.
2:00 main stage tomorrow. Sharon Lecter. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, Chelsea, I'm going to bring you in. And hey, Chelsea, how are you?
Wonderful. Could not be happier to be here.
Thank you so much for waiting there patiently. I had to let Sharon in because she had an appointment, and also, seniority. I thought, so thank you so much for waiting there patiently. So Chelsea is an empowerment specialist, inspirational speaker, real estate investor, and author. Chelsea is the founder and CEO of Spread Love, Speak Life, whose version is to elevate the world by the power of love. I love it. That's the most important thing, love. Her mission is to empower 10,000 women and mums to skyrocket to success by 2030. Having had a traumatic experience at the age of 16, Chelsea had the option of letting that heartbreak, literally call it quits, but she decided to keep on. And here she is. She's using her experience. And you're sharing it. So, Chelsea, you spoke on Monday, didn't you?
I spoke on the first day. I spoke on Saturday on the main stage and yesterday on the master stage.
Brilliant. So how are you finding it? This is your first expo with us.
It is.
How are you finding it?
Oh, it's been a learning process for sure. And I guess it's been that way for everybody. But just to be able to be, like you said, in the presence of these great people. And yeah, I was just listening in. I'm such a fan of Dee Dee Wong and Sharon Lecter, and just learned about Doug. So yeah, such incredible people. It's an honor.
Yeah, no, thank you. It is. Well, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying is that, I mean, for me, sometimes I've got to like pinch myself. I'm speaking to Les Brown yesterday, Jack Canfield. And then, I was reading these guys' books a few years ago. It wasn't a few, it was a few more, Chelsea. But between you and me, we're going to say a few years ago. But the bottom line is this is where it happens. The magic happens here. And it's about, people like yourself being here and then also reaching out. I think a lot of people miss that opportunity. I said this before and I keep repeating myself, but I think sometimes opportunities are like the size of petrol tankers and people can't see them. They walk around them, and I think it's about having these opportunities to be here and share your story. So obviously if you missed Chelsea's talks, you can watch it. You can see them. They're recorded. Your Talk Chelsea is going to be also on the Roku channel. Once we cut it, edit it, it'll be up there. So it'll be there for a long time. What are the key things that you've been sharing with the people that have come to you, that you've connected with, and that you would really like to kind of, reinforce?
Some of the key points that I shared on Saturday were to really just have the confidence to stand up and say, I'm ready, and step up and show up. And step up is stepping up into that person that that you want to become and that you are meant to be. And so once you can really embody the person that you want to become, it's no longer the person that you want to become, it's the person that you are. And so the world and the universe can conform to you and bring the things that you want to you much faster, much like Dee Dee Wong has accomplished 10 years of a speaking career within 2. And just showing up on a consistent basis and choosing love over fear every day. When you have troubles and when you're sad or when things happen, love trumps fear every time if you let it.
Absolutely, and ultimately is what we're all looking for. I think I shared that the other day with Forbes. As much as we're interested in wealth, health, and everything else, love is right up there. So Chelsea. Obviously, people can come and check you out in the booth, but where can they find you? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, just go to bealifebreather.com. That's the name of my new book. And they can grab my free gift there. It is a bucket list blueprint, bealifebreather.com.
Brilliant. Well, Chelsea, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being involved in the Best You Expo and supporting us. And I hope to see you still around in the couple of days we still got left. Okay?
Thank you so much, Bernardo.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Thank you. Okay, and I'm going to bring my friend Sarah Davison. Yay!
Yay! Finally, I get on.
Can I say something? Now that no one's hearing us, I'm leaving the best for last. No,
I was going to say that, Bernardo. I was going to say. But anyway, I'm pleased to be here. You look amazing. And I've been really enjoying listening to everyone talk. Dee Dee, love her. Oh, my goodness. Big fan. Sharon. It's been amazing. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, darling. I wanted to invite you to come along because, and I've got some of the other, some of my friends coming along, today, tomorrow, and then the team, just because, I wanted to kind of thank you, the support that you've given me over the years. So Sarah Davison is best known as a divorce coach. She's an award-winning authority on breakups, divorce, and life empowerment, a twice best-selling author. Sarah's empathic and holistic coaching style empowers individuals to take control of their lives in every area and realize their full potential. She works with men and women around the world to redesign their lives just the way they want and to help them transform tough times into a future where, they are excited to live. So, darling, you've been
you gave me last year at your last show.
That's right. She is the award winner.
The best self-development coach. Yay!
Self-development coach. Now, we know each other for a long time, and I've obviously seen Sarah's career over the years, with going through her divorce and the challenges that she had, and then obviously the track record that she already had as a seminar promoter, as a Tony Robbins fan, and then training in NLP, then learning NLP, then coaching NLP. So she has vast experience, and she's all over the press, all over the media, not only in the UK but also around the world. Because she's literally invited by top newspapers and magazines and news channels, to comment on a lot of the things that are going in relationships. And I know in particular you, darling, you've upped your game heavily. I'm not saying that you didn't, but because you've always worked very, very hard, but you're all over the place. I mean, since this coronavirus, your ads are all over the place. You got, every time I can see your little red light popping up with Facebook, you've been very busy.
Instagram, video, yeah, most days. Yes. Well, I think, lockdown has been really interesting because there's a lot of people going through really difficult times, especially in my niche area of breakups and domestic abuse. That has gone through the roof. So, yeah, there's a lot of people who were happy together, who just being within four walls has put so much pressure on their relationship. It started to crumble. So I've been working a lot with people in those situations, plus my, regular clients. And, I think lockdown's really put a lot of pressure on people. So I've been doing a lot of free advice on Instagram every day, and just people can send me questions and I'll do free videos and put them up just to get the information out there to get people through what's been a really challenging time, and still the ripple effects are still going on. So yeah, it's been good to be able to help and do my bit. I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, but I can help with that. So that's what I've been doing.
So Sarah's done some great retreats. So apart from her books, Uncoupling, and the second book is?
A Split, yeah, from breakup to breakthrough in 30 days or less, yeah.
And then, you do your retreats where, you highly successful retreats.
Mm-hmm.
Are you start to do some of those virtually now?
I haven't done any virtually yet, actually. It was something I was thinking about because I was still getting a lot of demand, and I was going to run another one in the UK in November, but I think they're predicting maybe a second spike, so I'm holding off at the moment. So yeah, I may go virtual on that, actually.
Yeah, you should.
I like hugging, so a lot of you can't hug people virtually. It's a bit hard. So yeah,
it is. I mean, but if you are going to run it live, you're going to have to keep people in different hotels, so it might be a little bit difficult to run the workshop. I think, I actually, I don't even think there's a second wave. I just think the first one hasn't finished and it's going to carry on. So yeah, I think there's a lot more to come still, unfortunately. And I've lost quite a few friends, and I've lost quite a few friends, and, Doug Ivanovich was nearly gone. And another friend of mine, Keith Bishop, was, bless him, he nearly passed away as well. So it's been really tough to watch. Yeah. So, and I think from a couple relationship point of view, there's still so much more pressure because it's probably getting more and more intense, isn't it? Especially if there's less and less money.
Yeah, exactly. I think some relationships, the shift has been for me that I'm seeing people that were happy. But the reason they were happy was because their relationship really well when, for example, a recent client, he plays golf a lot, she plays tennis, they both have jobs. So they didn't spend that much time together. They come together like once or twice a week for date nights, family occasions, see the kids. But
once every 6 months, that works as well, yeah?
Yeah. But I think when all that is removed and it's just you, it's just enough to drive anyone crazy. But, I think that's put extra pressure on. So it's been good to be able to help people through that because you can get through it. And if you are going to break up, there's ways to make it easier and less painful and to speed it up. And, so that I've been doing a lot of hand holding for people going through those situations as well. So, yeah, we've been busy, which is good. And also I train people now to become coaches, which is actually, so my talk I did on Sunday was about how to cope with any kind of breakup. My talk that I'm doing on Thursday, it is at 7 p.m. UK time, which is probably about an hourish time, your time,
yes,
isn't it?
11.
Is going, got out of focus. But my talk I'm doing is about how to create a successful coaching brand. And that is because I teach people, I train people now to become breakup and divorce coaches because I've built my brand. So I'm based in the UK, you can probably tell from my accent, but my brand is global. And how I've done that, by the different techniques I've used that everyone can do. And I think a lot of these secrets coaches just miss. And as you know, Bernardo, the life coaching market is absolutely saturated right now. So you need to stand out. You need to have something unique. You need to have a USP. But how do you do that? And how do you incorporate that into your branding so that you do stand out and you get the media opportunities and you get the opportunities for people to hear you? There's some very simple things that people miss. So I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow in a lot more detail.
Well, brilliant. Well, listen, if you've missed Sarah's talk, please make sure you go and watch it. It's still going to be available after the Expo. We're going to keep the doors open so you guys can come in and check it out. And apart from that, we've got a lot of Sarah's content on the Best You TV from previous Expos. And how can they find you anyway? But apart from the booth here, how can they find you?
My website's sarahdavidson.com, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook every day. Free advice, free videos. That's Sarah Davidson Divorce Coach. So you can find me on those too. And thank you. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your help and your support all these years. And you've always been there. And I'm very blessed to have you as a friend and supporting me. So thank you so much, darling. Great to see you.
Thanks, Bernardo.
Bye. Bye. So, boys and girls, we're going to finish in a minute, but we have at 11 o'clock, we've got Yuri Revich. He's the violinist that I played a little 1-minute video before. You're going to love it. Seriously, just take the time. I think it's a 10-minute interview, 10, 15 minutes top. And then he performs for us. He plays, I think 4 or 5 tracks, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Goosebumps. And one of my highlights in particular, as far as some of the artists and thinkers, authors that I brought to the event, but I'm so excited. It's something that I really want to do and expand on the shows as we grow. And I'm just delighted to have him here, and I can't wait to have him. So I'm just going to play a 1-minute video, and then we're going to jump into a very quick commercial, and then we're going to be back watching Yuri Revich. So thank you so much.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.